In this video, we'll be discussing degree, minute, and second notation. Sometimes the measure of an angle is not a nice integer. Portions of a degree are measured with minutes and seconds. 1 minute, written 1 with a little tick mark, is 1/60th of a degree. 1 second, which is written 1 with 2 little tick marks, is 1/60th of a minute. So this is what our degree, minute, second notation looks like. That notation represents 12 degrees, 42 minutes, and 38 seconds. Again, this notation is just a different way to represent a portion of a degree rather than using a decimal. Let's perform some calculations on angle measures in this degree, minute, second notation. And we frequently abbreviate degree, minute, second notation DMS. You might even notice a DMS button on your calculator. When adding angles in this form, we need to add things that are like. We add degrees together, we add minutes together, we add seconds together. So I'm going to rewrite this in a vertical format, lining up our degrees, minutes. This example does not have seconds. And then we simply add straight down. This will give us 47 minutes, 158 degrees, so we get a final answer of 158 minutes and 47 seconds. Now, if we were to have added this and our minutes came up to 60 or more, we would actually carry into the degree category. In our next example, we want to take 90 degrees and subtract 36 degrees, 18 minutes, and 47 seconds. You'll notice that our 90 degrees does not have minutes and seconds listed with it. So we're going to rewrite 90 degrees. So 90 degrees is equal to 89 degrees plus 1 degree. So then I'm going to take that 1 degree and break it up into minutes. 1 degree is the same as 60 minutes. Well, I could think of that 60 minutes as 59 minutes, saying minutes and writing degrees, 59 minutes plus 1 minute. And then this 1 minute can be rewritten as 60 of its own seconds. So 90 degrees is equal to 89 degrees, 59 minutes, and 60 seconds. That's the way we want to rewrite 90 degrees, so we have numbers in each of the categories, and then we can perform the subtraction. It's kind of like borrowing with subtraction. We borrow from the tens place and put it in the ones place. That's what's happening here. We borrowed 1 degree from the degrees place and then turned it into 59 minutes and 60 seconds. And then we'll just subtract each type. Subtracting our seconds, that'll be 13 seconds. Subtracting our minutes, it's 41 minutes. And subtracting our degrees, 53 degrees. We end up with 50 degrees, 41 minutes, and 13 seconds. The next thing we're going to do is convert each angle measure to decimal degrees. I mentioned before that our degree, minute, second notation was just another way to represent the decimal portion of a decimal. So we're going to practice converting back and forth between the two. Well, our 45 degrees, that's just going to be a degree, and we're going to add an amount to it. This 42 minutes is part of a degree. Remember that each whole degree is 60 seconds. So to figure out what portion of a degree 42 seconds is, we are going to take that 42 seconds and divide it by 60, and that'll give us the decimal portion. And then we're going to take whatever that is and just add it to 45. I would put this whole thing in my calculator all at one time. 45 plus 42 divided by 60, and we end up with 45.7 degrees. Let's try another one. This one not only has minutes, but also seconds. All right, so we'll start with our 165 degrees. We just saw to determine what portion of a degree 51 minutes is, we're going to take 51 and divide it by 60 because there's 60 minutes in a degree. Well, our next one is seconds. And we don't have a direct relationship outlined between seconds and degrees. If we go up here to our definitions, it says that 1 minute is 1/60th of a degree, and then 1 second is 1/60th of a minute. So it turns out that 1 second is 1/60th times 1/60th, which is 1/3600 of a degree. So when we go to deal with this second portion, we're going to be taking that 9 and dividing it by 3,600. And again, I would put all this in my calculator at one time. 165 plus 51 divided by 60 plus 9 divided by 3,600. And we end up with 165.8525. And that's our angle measure represented as a decimal. I always think we understand math better if our brain can go in both directions, so now we're going to go in the other conversion direction. Here I'm giving you an angle in degrees with a decimal, and we want to rewrite it in degree, minutes, and seconds. We will round our final answer to the nearest second. Well, notice up here when we were going this direction, we were dividing things by 60 or 3,600. Well, going this other direction, we're going to do the opposite operation, and we're going to be multiplying things by 60. So we already know the degree portion is 59 degrees. So our concentration is just on this decimal portion. To figure out the number of minutes, you're going to take whatever the decimal is, and you're going to multiply it by 60. We get 5.124. We're going to take the whole number portion of this, and that is going to be our minutes. So 5 minutes. To figure out the number of seconds, we're going to take the decimal portion that was left over from minutes and multiply it by 60, and that will give us our number of seconds. When multiplying, we get 7.44. Our direction said round to the nearest second, so I'm just going to take that as 7 seconds. We get 59 degrees, 5 minutes, 7 seconds. The reason that we did not multiply by 3600 here, the reason that we multiplied by 60 a second time, was because we weren't making the leap from from degrees to seconds. We were converting from minutes to seconds. Up here, we were making the direct leap from seconds to degrees, and that's why we divided by 3600. Let's try one more. We want to convert 122.6853 degrees to our degree minute second notation. Our degrees is going to be the whole number portion, 122. To get the minutes, we take the decimal and we multiply it by 60. And that gives us 41.118. We'll take that whole number portion as our minutes. And you're never rounding up here. We're just like cutting off the whole number portion. And then to get our seconds, we take the decimal portion from the minutes and multiply it by 60. And we get 7.08. And this one we will round because that's what our directions told us. Rounding this to the nearest second, we get 7. 122.6853 degrees is equal to 122 degrees, 41 minutes, and 7 seconds. You need to be comfortable with both notations because sometimes our angles are going to be given as decimals and sometimes they're going to be given in this degree minute second notation.